part of what we do. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
98.7 WFGR. It is 7:36 on a Thursday morning. We've got Jeffery Richard Sipsick in here, who owns the Jeffery Richard Salon over on Wealthy Street, where my cousin works. And she do a good job for you?
Abby is amazing.
Isn't she cool?
Yeah, I love her. I love her. Love those good Catholic Central girls. Yeah. Come on down.
So this is how I got to know Jeffrey. And we caught him on TV yesterday talking about World AIDS Day, which is this Saturday, and there's going to be a big show down at Fountain Street Church, getting underway at about 6:30.
Yes.
Is it free?
It is free.
Okay.
Thanks for mentioning that. And then another cool thing is starting at 5:30 at the church. Kent County Health Department is going to be doing confidential, anonymous, and free HIV testing.
And you know what? If you haven't had an AIDS test and you're one of these people that we were just talking about, the 25% of the population of the United States that doesn't know, what are you waiting for?
Exactly.
Right.
Here's your chance.
Absolutely. Free, confidential, anonymous, and it's literally a finger poke. I mean, and it's a 20-minute, it's a rapid test. So the test results come back in 20 minutes. Back in the day, you had to wait 10, 12 days.
Okay, which would just, if you're somebody waiting for an AIDS test, the most harrowing 10 days of your life, you know?
All right.
The rapid test has been an amazing tool that they came out with, 5-6 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer. But it gives people that opportunity to not, because what they found is that people would get their blood draw, get the initial counseling, they'd leave, and they'd never see him again. And that's the psychology that just blows me away, is that it's almost easier for them to not know. So they can even go get a blood draw and have it, and they know that there's results out there somewhere, but they just won't go back to get them because it's just easier.
Now, I wanted to ask you a question, and this is something we've talked about in the past. You're openly gay. Good by me. You got nothing wrong there.
And it's good by me that you're straight.
Thank you. Oh, I was worried there for a minute.
Just to make things clear.
What I'm setting this up for, is something that we've talked about here in the past. When you come out.
Yes. Yeah.
I see it as an accomplishment. And I'm not really trying to throw you under the bus.
No, that's fine.
What I want to do is I want Jeffrey to explain it to see why it is that big of a deal. And maybe you can shed some light with Dave here as to why people that come out should be celebrated.
I see. I've always been under the being gay. You're gay. You're gay.
That's that.
That's great. You're not accomplishing anything just by being gay. Now, if you do something like what you're doing is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you're helping people with AIDS, regardless of sexual orientation, doesn't matter to me. But that's an accomplishment. Just saying, hey, I'm gay, I don't care. And I think that's the best thing for gay people is...
So I feel like there's been previous discussions that
absolutely
all the time.
So I think what I'm picking up, Dave, is that you don't maybe understand why someone has to celebrate their sexual orientation as much. Is that,
not even necessarily that, but see, what I think is that people that have a different sexual orientation or a tail, or maybe maybe they're different in some little way, but they have to hold on to this secret because they're afraid of the shame and the guilt and everything else that comes with it. And I think, for me, the celebration comes about when somebody can go, you know what, this is me, and this is who I am. Because I had to have that myself.
Right.
I had 10 years ago, I had to sit down and go, you know what, I'm an alcoholic.
Okay.
I can't drink anymore. Right. I can't do this. And to me, the day that I gave that up is a bigger celebration day than my actual birthday.
Right.
So what I'm trying to get to Dave here is why that is such a big deal, because I think it is.
I'm sorry. I don't equate being gay. See, alcoholism, we've said this before, it's a disease, right?
Right.
Being gay isn't a disease.
No, it's not. I
don't owe a gay person my I owe them what I owe you with your heterosexuality. Indifference. I don't care.
Okay.
Well, what's really what I'm hearing. You can tell I got some therapy in my background.
Yeah, right. Who doesn't?
What I'm hearing you say is, and how I'm feeling. Part of this is, I think, Dave, you're obviously a very accepting human being.
Yeah.
And I think when you live in your own kind of world, and my guess would be is that people you're around are similar to you, and so. It's nice that you're probably 20 years down the road where the rest of the country we hopefully will catch up to. But being gay is a huge deal to a lot of people.
Right.
A lot, I would say most people, one way or another, it's a big deal. And when you've lived a life, I mean, you're a white straight guy.
Right.
And when you live your life without people constantly thinking that you're bad and that you're different and that you're different. Not that your difference is celebrated, but that your different is bad. And that's really where LGBT issues have been up until the last probably 5 or 10 years when the movement has really picked up speed. But still, I mean, most people don't know that in the state of Michigan, you can be fired strictly for being gay. Strictly for, and I'm talking, you can have perfect work performance. Yeah. So there is a reason to be able to be out and celebrate who you are and know that your job is intact. You know, kids still get kicked out of their house in this town.
Which is
stunning
to me.
It honestly gives me goosebumps. It makes my skin crawl when I could think of a parent telling a 16-year-old that they have to get out. I hear these stories, and this is happening right here with God-fearing people who I know in their heart probably think they're doing the right thing, but so I think when you've gone through those things, or you lived as that kid who's terrified that someone's going to pick up their gaydar is going to go off, and they're going to realize that you're different and you're gay, and then you're out, and then there's like making the choice to come out, which is under your power, and then there's being outed, which is someone else talking about you and telling other people that you're gay. Two totally different experiences. And so I think when someone gets the courage to say, this is who I am, screw you, they typically don't have people like you in their life. Honestly, I mean, and they would be blessed to have somebody like you in your life where you don't care. And I mean, that's the day I'm looking for, is that I can just be seen as Jeffrey and not Jeffrey the gay guy, Jeffrey the gay guy with AIDS. Right. I mean, those are all parts of things that define me, but it is not by any means. As a matter, this is so funny. I was talking to a friend of mine last night, speaking of this TV interview I did. You know, watching yourself on TV is just it's like taking needles and sticking them in your eye.
I'd rather kill myself. I can't stand looking at myself on TV.
I went back to my partner and I was like, am I that gay?
I thought I was going to burst into flames there on TV. No,
I had the fire retardant out. I was holding on to a fire extinguisher the whole time. But yeah, you know, I guess in my head, I'm the kid from Battle Creek who was a diver and you know, early on I knew I was different and I had to come to grips with that. But through the whole process of me coming out and realizing I was gay, I still had this core of just being Jeff. And in my head, that's what I still am. And then, you know, whether it's seeing myself talk about AIDS very publicly or talking about LGBT issues, I just want to be the best every day I can be. And I don't, you know, us coming in and talking about who you slept with last night would be in general pretty outrageous. Yeah. And I hope we get to the day where someone looks at me and doesn't even think about who I'm going to bed with tonight.
That's cool.
Which is actually my 3 dogs and my partner. And we'll leave that one for a next show. Right back at you, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what. I applaud your effort. I think that the fact that you're out here getting this word out again, and it's really shameful on everybody that AIDS has fallen to the back burner. He was telling me on the way in, I was walking down the hall with him, the whole Red Ribbon campaign. Yeah. All the ribbons you see, red, pink, purple, blue, it all started with AIDS.
Yep. And now I have people every year when I put this thing on, they ask me what it's for. They don't even know what it's for.
Unbelievable.
It is. So, you know, if we can just get some discussions going, you know, trust me, I've lived through enough where I don't expect everyone to go, wow, this is great. Right. He was really cool, and I just love all gay people. I love all people with AIDS. And blah, blah, blah. I mean, if that was the case, then bring me back every morning, and I'll try to change. We'll go to another topic. But
we might bring you back every other morning for different reasons. You're pretty entertaining.
Well, hopefully with this is we can get someone to, you know, even if it's a parent who has a college-age son or daughter or whoever, gay or straight, whatever the situation is, and they know that they're starting to become more sexually active or whatever. Because I have clients that are like, I had a client yesterday. Oh, I buy my son condoms by the case, and I make sure he has them, which is huge. And some people say, well, that's promoting him to be promiscuous. I say, hell no. Sorry,
that's all right.
It's responsible. Yeah. And do you want your son to be here in 30 or 40 years and be healthy, or are you worried about someone seeing you buy a box of condoms at wherever?
I still can't. I still giggle when I walk by condoms.
I know. You know what? Isn't that funny? I do.
Yeah.
And you know, if
you always have to buy something else. It's like you buy condoms and
Cheetos.
And Cheetos.
Actually, my favorite thing at the Rite Aid.
And a Verner's. I got a Verner's, Cheetos, and
at the Rite Aid I go to, it goes like this. It goes condoms, slip and slide, pregnancy tests. right down the line. Bang, bang, bang.
I love that. Where's the baby oil?
Right? I know. Oh, God.
That's another show, isn't it?
Jeffery Richard, thank you so much for coming in. Your hard work.
Thanks,
I mean,
Dave.
you know what?
God bless you are doing the Lord's work.
I
Really.
agree.
It's amazing.
I appreciate that.
Thanks so much. And everybody go to the Jeffery Richard Salon and get your hair cut, especially Dave. All right. Thank you.
This year.